o'clock, and experimental technology is giving a man who's paralyzed from the shoulder down the ability to move again just by thinking. Bill Kochevar is now able to move his right arm, allowing him to feed himself for the first time in years. Now, here's how this technology works. Electrodes in the man's brain record signals telling his arm to move. Then a computer interprets that information, sends signals to more electrodes in his arm, and that prompts the movement. Well, scientists believe they will have a more portable version of this technology in the next couple years. With the nation in the grip of a heroin and opioid epidemic, it should come as little surprise that heroin use and addiction have increased in the last decade. New research shows that increase is the biggest among white people. Researchers also found the number of white people who use prescription opioids recreationally before trying heroin also went up.
A new study finds people with hepatitis B or hepatitis C are significantly more likely to develop Parkinson's disease compared to the general population. Researchers say it's unclear if the virus itself triggers Parkinson's or if the same factors make them susceptible to both conditions. Doctors have been warning baby boomers for years to get tested for hepatitis C. Boomers are 5 times more likely than any other age groups to have that disease. Coming up on CBS This Morning, House Speaker Paul Ryan talks about the president's failed health care bill.
He sits down with Norah O'Donnell in his first extended interview since the controversial piece of legislation was pulled from the House floor. Health care and Russian involvement in the presidential election are just 2 of the many topics they'll cover. So stay tuned with the full interview coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Legal limbo for a woman who came to Portland on a tourist visa. We're live with the latest on the detention of an Iranian refugee.
Oh, that's it, right there. Coming to an end.
Plus, a Portland police chase ends in a crash. More on a wild night for one of the world's busiest police forces.
And the Oregon Ducks and their fans get ready for the Final Four. We're live in Arizona this morning with the next step in the NCAA tournament.
KOIN 6 News This Morning starts right now.
And welcome back to KOIN 6 News This Morning. It is 6 o'clock on this Thursday, and you're taking a live look at Mount Hood Meadows. You can see, even with the darkness, that there are some clouds up there, but plenty of snow. Sally Showman will be here in just a second to let us know what's going to be happening up there and down here. I'm Ken Body.
And I'm Trevor Alden for Jenny Hansen, part of one of the wettest marches that we've ever seen. Obviously, up on Mount Hood, they're getting a little bit of snow, but we've seen a lot of rain. Hopefully, Sally Showman, we are kind of starting to see the end of that, right?
Right. I have drier weather in your extended forecast for sure. This morning, just a few spotty showers up on Mount Hood. We could pick up 1 to 3 inches of snow above 3,000 feet today. Mostly cloudy here around Portland at 9 o'clock. Maybe a stray shower, but I think in general, showers will start to pick up as we head into the midday time frame. By 3 o'clock, a few showers passing us by. It'll be one of those days, 1 minute there's a sun break, the next a downpour moves through. This evening, increasing sunshine. Temperatures top out in the mid to upper 50s today. It's a chilly start to the day. Be sure to grab a jacket. 38 degrees in Newburgh. It's 41 in Beaverton and Tigard. East side of town, 43 in Battleground, 45 degrees at PDX. Radar not finding a lot this morning, but a few of us are wet, including to the south and east of Portland around Damascus, Sandy, Estacada, and again Mount Hood seeing some snow. Headed over Highway 26, a little downpour there right around the rest area as you're coming over the hill into Cannon Beach and Seaside, and further south, Neskowin is also seeing some showers. Coming up, I've got details on a flood warning still in effect, not only for Vancouver, but another southwest Washington town coming up in just a few.
I have a traffic alert for you in Beaverton and some possible bad news here in from Vancouver. I'll show you in a second. So right now, TV Highway remains closed. It's going to be closed for a while between Murray and Hawken because of a crash that happened overnight where a car hit a power pole, and PGE is working on repairing that pole. So with that closure in place, use Farmington instead. You can see the green traffic flows. There's not much congestion at all around that area, but there may be. So give yourself extra time if you do have to head that direction. And the bad news in from Vancouver is that ODOT just notified me of a bridge lift they're about to do on I-5. And when there's already a backup due to rush hour back to SR 500. So if that bridge lift does indeed happen, which it hasn't yet, that will really back things up. I'll keep you updated here and on social media. So let's check out the drive right now. There's a closer look, by the way, just before the Interstate Bridge. You've got 11 minutes for that commute in from Vancouver, and then 6 minutes on I-84, 26 eastbound, only 5 minutes there. Everything still looks good through Oregon City and West Linn. 217 is not a problem, and neither is I-5 northbound from Wilsonville to downtown.
All right, thanks, Carly. A woman who was refused entry to the U.S. at Portland International Airport is apparently trying to seek political asylum.
Yeah, Brett Weisberg is live with more on the Iranian woman who was trying to use a tourist visa. Good morning, Brett.
Trevor and Ken, good morning to you. This case now starting to get a lot of attention locally and nationally. Here's what's happening in this case. This woman was recently traveling to Portland under a travel visa granted to her so she could visit family here in the United States. However, sources are telling KOIN 6 News that they've now learned it appears that she wanted to do more than just visit her family. It appears that she actually wanted to move to the United States. That woman's name is Aliyah Al-Rajani. She was detained by U.S. Customs authorities after she landed at PDX. She's now seeking political asylum. U.S. Customs officials tell us this has absolutely nothing to do with the current Trump travel ban, the political landscape, or the fact that this young woman is from Iran. Her family describes her as very healthy. She now fears that if she's sent back, her life is in danger.
I'm just worried, so worried. She's 29 years old. She did nothing wrong ever in her life. She's a good, healthy girl. She studied, she works, she's an architect.
For the time being, Aliyah is now being held at a detention center. She's not facing any criminal charges, but the detention center did release her booking photo. The ACLU here in Oregon and local politicians are now working on getting her what's called a credible fear hearing. If that hearing is granted, it may not happen for another 6 months. That means that Aliyah would have to stay in custody, but if it is granted, her family could petition that she be released on bond. Of course, we're going to keep a close eye on this situation, and we'll let you know what happens. Back to you.
Yeah, Brent, you can see why this case is getting so much attention both locally and nationally.
And we'll, of course, keep everyone updated as it continues to develop. Well, 3 men arrested after a frightening home invasion in Clark County will go before a judge today.
Cor Harlan is live with more on how the suspects are accused of confronting a woman who was hiding in her closet. Cor?
Boy, this is a scary thing, particularly for a lot of women that are home alone in some of the rural areas of Clark County. This happened in Ridgefield last night. These 3 men in custody are expected to show up here in a Clark County courtroom at 8:30 this morning. The narrative is as follows. Essentially, police last night got a 911 call from a woman who was upstairs in her home. She told the 911 operators she heard some noise that could possibly be several men on the main floor of her house. Police responded a short time later. The 3 men fled in a vehicle that crashed a short distance away from the house. One of the men was taken into custody just right where the crash happened. 2 others ran off into the woods. Sheriff's deputies actually had to call on the use of a canine unit to flush these other 2 men out of the place that they were hiding at, not far from the crash scene. All 3 were taken into custody without incident. The woman was not harmed. Shaken certainly and scared and alarmed, but not physically harmed in any way. And again, these 3 men taken into custody will be here in a Clark County courtroom 8:30 this morning in connection with this unlawful entry into this house that no doubt, Ken and Trevor, absolutely terrified this woman who was calling 911 from an upstairs closet.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying, and we'll be in court, as you said, to see what happens with the charges for those 3 men that they got. Thank you.
Imagine coming home to find your house ransacked and hateful messages calling you a terrorist spray painted on your walls. Well, that's what happened to a man in Troutdale, and now the FBI is involved in the investigation to find the people responsible. The Iranian refugee has been living in the U.S. for more than 5 years, and he says he has repeatedly had to deal with bigotry.
They think if you're from Middle East, you're a bad guy. If you, some people just say it to my face, if you're not white, you are bad.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has asked the FBI to help with this investigation. Washington state lawmakers in Olympia are considering a bill to allow students to use medical marijuana in schools. House Bill 1060 would permit a parent or guardian to privately administer medical marijuana to a child while at school, on a school bus, or at a school-sponsored event. 3 other states, Colorado, New Jersey, and Maine, have similar laws on the books.
Red, solid red, solid red. Woo! Oh, 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 that's it. That's it, right there, right there. Coming to an end. Laurel Canyon victory, Laurel Canyon victory. You see the
Well, that was the end to a police chase in Los Angeles last night. You were listening to chopper pilot Stu Mundell, and he delivered a colorful play-by-play of that chase that began as a call about a stolen car. And that was just one of several chases in the Los Angeles area last night. Police say the driver in that case took police on a separate chase earlier in the night before taking off in the black truck that you saw earlier. Now, a suspected DUI driver led police through the freeways of Hollywood, hitting speeds of more than 100 miles an hour. That driver eventually ran off on foot, but police say they did capture his passenger.
Well, all week long, we have been watching Portland climb the ranks of wettest marches in history. Sally, are we going to keep climbing today?
You know, I don't think we'll make enough progress that we'll make it into the 3rd position. I think it'll go down as the 4th wettest march on record at PDX, and that's plenty for me, right. I think.
Yeah,
let's talk about the water year so far. This is not the only month that has made it into the record books. In fact, it was the 2nd wettest on October on record in Portland, the 1st wettest February, and we're clocking in at 4th place for March. So a lot of rain around, and of course that means very high river levels. Right now, a flood warning in effect, and it remains in effect. It has for the last week, more than a week, in Vancouver. It is about 1.5 feet above flood stage right now, the Columbia River running through Vancouver. Also, now through Longview, there's also a flood warning in effect with the river above flood stage by just about 1/10 of a foot there. So really high river levels in Longview and in Vancouver, and the Willamette running through Portland also really high, the highest levels we've seen since back in 2011. So what's the forecast today? We have a few spotty showers around this morning. A lot of us are dry, however, with mostly cloudy skies and chilly temperatures. This afternoon, I paused this at 1:30 because you can see some showers and downpours starting to develop. We're unsettled behind the front that moved through yesterday, so it'll be one of those days where the weather's always changing. One minute you catch a sun break, the next there's a shower that's fairly heavy moving through. By 6 o'clock tonight, I think skies are clearing. That's setting the stage for a really nice day on Friday. And really, the next 7 days don't look all that wet, so that is a nice change. Passing showers today and sun breaks. A nice day on tap Friday with fog in the morning, plenty of sun otherwise, and high temperatures in the low 60s. Now, you'll have to watch for morning sprinkles on Saturday, but otherwise, this weekend looks mainly dry and really pleasant with temperatures in the 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast. Today, a few showers, highs right around average in the mid to upper 50s. Low 60s tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Saturday, morning sprinkles, dry in the afternoon with sun breaks. Mainly dry Sunday as well. Only an isolated shower possible Monday and Tuesday before showers return on Wednesday. I'm kind of liking this 7-day forecast, Carly.
Yeah, not too bad. I might actually wash my car now because you almost can't see it. It's so covered in dirt. So right now, the drive along TV Highway is something you want to plan for because TV Highway remains closed. I've been keeping you updated on this all morning long. It's because of a crash from overnight. So TV Highway's closed from Murray to Hawken. It's going to stay that way for a while as PGE repairs a pole that a car hit. Now, Farmington is the main alternate route, and you should expect congestion on there. Now, talk about congestion. Look at I-5 in Vancouver. This is bad news for Vancouver drivers. An interstate bridge lift has traffic at a standstill in both directions. This is the 2nd bridge lift of the morning. The first one happened well before rush hour. This one is happening pretty much during rush hour, but ODOT says they have until 6:30 in the morning to do bridge lifts. So this has traffic really backed up. I would avoid I-5 if you have to head in from Vancouver. Take I-205 instead because when we have a bridge lift near rush hour, it really causes a mess. Now, I-5 southbound is 12 minutes. It's 9 minutes on I-205 southbound. Now, those drive times, especially the I-5 southbound drive times, not going to be completely accurate because traffic isn't moving right now due to the lift. 26 eastbound, 5 minutes. 7 minutes on 217 southbound, 7 minutes on 217 northbound, and a great drive right now between Scappoose and I-405 for Highway 30.
Okay, thank you, Carly. It is 6:12. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
Ducks fans already flocking to Phoenix for the Final Four this weekend. Coming up, we have a live report from our very own Cole Miller, who's in town for the action.
Two things. Mic check 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6. We're going off the NAP mic. Hopefully that sounds good. Mic check 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That's so weird. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
That's this.
It's the TVU?
Absolutely. Because I'm getting crystal clear audio with this. Everything. So, data's there.
Out of focus, a little hot on the right. How's that look?
Welcome back at 6:15. There's an invasion underway in Arizona this morning.
The Oregon Ducks and their fans are in the Phoenix area now. They're getting ready for the NCAA Final Four. KOIN 6's Cole Miller arrived last night. He's live with more on the action. Cole Miller, take it away.
Well, Ken, Trevor, good morning. First of all, I just have to say it is so nice to be able to be reporting outside live without a heavy winter coat or a rain jacket. But that's not the reason we're here. No, we are following that Oregon Ducks basketball team. These young men continuing to write an incredible story. This memorable march not over yet. Now, I don't want to open up old wounds, but the last time the Duck faithful were down here, it was a few years back. It was the football team playing here at University of Phoenix Stadium, taking on Trevor's Ohio State Buckeyes. Those fans, they left a little heartbroken. But if this Ducks basketball team has anything to say about that, they'll be leaving here on top. And as fans continue flocking down this way, there's a bar dubbing itself Autzen in the Desert. It was started by a fellow from Eugene a few years back. They're welcoming everyone with open arms. We stopped by there late last night as soon as we touched down. Take a look.
The Well Bar is the original Oregon Duck Bar in Arizona. It's been here for about 10 years now. We decided we were going to make it the best Oregon bar in Arizona, and that's what we did. We had probably about 120 people here for the Elite 8 game. It gets loud. We are the loudest, proudest Oregon fans in Arizona. This is where everybody comes to watch the games. If you're from Oregon, you know about the Well Bar, and you're going to come here and watch the game with us. Our Ducks are here. How much more exciting could it be? We are so proud, and we just want to cheer them on and let them know we're here for you. We've been here the whole time. We are here for you in Arizona. This is Oregon and Arizona right here at the Well Bar. Go Ducks!
You heard it there, the loudest and the proudest Duck fans in the desert. So if you don't plan on coming to the stadium here, I can't blame you. You don't want to fork over an arm and a leg for tickets. They are certainly not cheap. Now, later today, that's when the fun and festivities really get going. We're talking a Ducks pep rally tonight over at the Phoenix Convention Center. Entertainment, games, concerts, you name it. We'll be down here covering it all. David Solano will be down here. He'll have all the action on the hardwood, all the post-game press conferences and things like that. Jeff Gianola also joining us tomorrow. So needless to say, it is going to be a fun, busy whirlwind of a few days down here in Phoenix. We are live actually though right now in Scottsdale. I'm Cole Miller for KOIN 6 News. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Cole, I've actually been to that bar. It is a really great time. I imagine Jeff Gianola and David Solano are probably still asleep right now, right? They're getting revved up for their
I would have to imagine so. Yeah, David I know he's still back at the hotel. I think Jeff, he's actually going to be joining us from New York City. He's actually cutting a family vacation short. That's how bad he wants to be here covering this historic march.
All right, thanks, Cole. Great job. Yep.
Yeah, go grab a power nap. You got a couple big days ahead of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, KOIN 6 is your home for coverage of the Final Four and the entire NCAA tournament. Cole is joined by David Solano and Jeff Gianola, as you just heard, in Phoenix. We're going to be bringing you live updates through the weekend here on KOIN and on KOIN.com.
Yeah, and for Cole, this is completely opposite of what his normal schedule is. He
That's
usually
right.
works nights. So for him to get up this early in the morning, we really appreciate it, Cole.
Yeah, commitment, for
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
And wasn't it beautiful there this morning?
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. They're
Yeah.
waking up to clear skies and warm temperatures. We're waking up to a few more showers and temperatures down in the 40s and 30s. So grab a jacket as you leave the house this morning. We will be dealing with wet weather at times, especially in the afternoon. Shower activity pretty limited right now. High pressure builds in tomorrow, though, so we will get our dose of nice weather. That font just said I'm Carly Canelli. Sally Showman, by the way. That high pressure builds in, providing the best weather of the week. Mostly sunny skies, just a few areas of morning fog. So here's the plan for today. 1 o'clock this afternoon, you'll notice those showers along I-5. 1 minute there's a shower, the next there's a sun break, and plenty of the day will be dry, but just don't get caught off guard by those showers. This evening, 6 o'clock, skies start to clear out. Just a few lingering showers over the Cascades and points east. Now here's tomorrow. I will be live in the tulip fields tomorrow morning at the Wooden Shoe Tulip Festival. Potentially some patches of fog. Otherwise, sunshine dominates all day long and high temperatures climb into the low 60s. Now Saturday, a weak system moves in early in the morning, potentially providing some light sprinkles or showers at 8 o'clock. The rest of the day, though, looks great, dry, increasing sun breaks in the afternoon. That's 5 o'clock. East of the mountains, that shower threat continues into the afternoon and evening. Now Sunday looks mainly dry as well. Here's a live look outside the Skamania Lodge. A little hole in the clouds, but plenty of cloud coverage out there. Not a lot of sunshine to be found early this morning. A live look also from the East Side Exchange building on the east side of the river, with all the lights twinkling on the very full Willamette River this morning. 40s up and down I-5, 39 degrees in Corvallis. So again, it's a little cooler than yesterday. It'll feel chilly outside. 36 in Redmond. It's 34 degrees right now in Bend. Radar sweeping around, not picking much up around Portland and Salem. But if you head into the Cascades, you will run into snowflakes, some flurries right now above 3,000 feet, and scattered showers also over the Coast Range. Right now, you can see most of the shower activity is centered right over Highway 26. So that's a big thoroughfare. If you're headed to Cannon Beach or Seaside this morning, just plan on wet roads. Today out along the coast, showers and sun breaks. We're dry by this evening, though. It'll be breezy. Northwest winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour rather. High temperatures in the low 50s. I-5 corridor passing showers, especially midday, with increasing sun breaks as we head into the evening. Should be a really nice sunset tonight. Mostly cloudy and breezy today east of the mountains. The northwest wind there 15 to 25 miles per hour this afternoon. Isolated showers not out of the question. Through the gorge, windy between Hood River and the Dalles. 1 to 3 inches of snow possible above 3,000 feet in the mountains. Here's your 7-day forecast. Looking pretty nice. Partly cloudy, dry tomorrow. A few isolated showers early on Saturday with mainly dry weather then Sunday through Tuesday. Carly?
Well, I've got an update for you on that bridge lift and then a reminder about the closure in Beaverton on TV Highway. That is a very well-traveled roadway, especially this time of morning. So expect congestion. We're starting to see some congestion right here along the westbound direction of TV Highway. That closure is in place from Murray to Hawken. It's from a crash that happened overnight where a car hit a power pole and PGE is working on repairing that pole. It's going to take some time though, so expect delays around that area. You use Farmington as the main alternate route. A heads up that there will be a closure starting at 7 on Union Mills, just east of Highway 213 south of Malino. So plan ahead. And the bridge lift is over. Traffic's moving again. It's very heavy on I-5 southbound. Be prepared for those delays. You can see some of the drive times right now. 6 minutes on 26, 16 in from Wilsonville, 6 on I-84, and 14 in from Vancouver. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Coin 6 News this morning. It's time for your CBS Money Watch.
Jill Wagner joins us live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Ken and Trevor. Futures right now pointing to a little bit of a lower open. The Dow fell about 42 points yesterday. The Nasdaq was up, though, about 22 points. Samsung released its highly anticipated Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus smartphones. Our friends over at CNET say they are visually stunning. They're water resistant. They have wireless charging. Unlike the new the new iPhones, they have a headphone jack. It's still too soon, though, to tell if the new model will restore trust in the brand after we know, of course, some of the batteries in previous models caught fire. And Lyft is testing a new service in San Francisco and Chicago. It's called Shuttle. There are designated pickup and drop-off locations. Vehicles travel along a designated route. It's kind of like a bus. The service offers a fixed rate fare, so that means no surge pricing. So it's designed for commuters. Ken, Trevor?
Yeah, interesting. Lyft really is innovative when it comes to ways to get people to use their service. So appreciate that, Jill.
All right.
We'll see if it catches on.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Maybe we'll start to see Lyft trains next and replace all of our public transportation. It is 6:27. You're watching Coin 6 News. Watching out for you.
Another group of protesters have been arrested here in Portland. We'll explain how yesterday's demonstration relates to a recent officer-involved shooting.
Plus, a new study breaks down pedestrian traffic deaths, how things are getting worse, not better.
Coin 6 News this morning starts right now.
Thanks for being with us. It is 6:31 right now, and you're looking at a live picture of the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix. It's where the University of Oregon Ducks will claim victory on Saturday against the North Carolina Tar Heels in the Final Four.
That's a bold call, Ken Body, but I do appreciate the enthusiasm.
Yes, we are hoping for a Northwest final. We want Oregon to win, and we want Gonzaga to win, and they got to give the West Coast some love.
Absolutely. Definitely what we're cheering for. You know, Cole Miller, who we just spoke to, we're going to talk to again. When he arrived there yesterday, he took a Snapchat of the forecast, 84 degrees. in Phoenix.
That's a good number.
Yeah, I would say we're probably not looking at something like that, huh, Sally?
No, something that's interesting today is the average first 70-degree day at PDX. But that's just averages. Today will actually be in the 50s. I don't see any 70s in the extended forecast, but I do see drier weather. Live look outside, mostly cloudy skies across the board. Just a few spotty showers. Showers will ramp up as we get closer to the lunch hour. You can see some speckles on the radar just east of Portland and up north toward Battleground. Otherwise, most of the showers are in the Coast Range and the Cascades this morning. Snow level around 3,000 feet, and you will encounter some flurries as you head out I-84 toward Idaho. So here's what to expect across the state. Scattered showers along the coast, but you'll notice increasing sun breaks this afternoon and evening and things drying out. Same with the Willamette Valley. Prime time for the showers will be midday. The Gorge wet at times with windy conditions as you head east, and Central Oregon a breezy day, maybe a spotty shower. Most of the day should be dry there. Carly?
And take a look at this closure. It's still in place. TV Highway remains closed between Murray and Hawken. It's because of a crash that happened overnight. That crash involves a car that hit a power pole, and PGE has been working on that pole. They say it's going to take a while, so expect TV Highway to be closed throughout the morning commute. That leads to extra congestion around that area. You can see some westbound congestion here and congestion along Murray as well. So with that closure in place, use Farmington as the main alternate route. We had an earlier interstate bridge lift. It was bad timing. It was right around 6 o'clock in the morning, which made things even heavier on I-5 southbound. Traffic's backed up to Maine, and the average speed is down to the single digits, 8 miles per hour. Check out the delay on I-205 southbound, slow in from SR 500 this morning. Now to the latest drive times. I-5 southbound is 19 minutes. It's a 7-minute drive on I-84 westbound. 26 eastbound has a little bit of slowing before the tunnel, so expect 8 minutes there. And now to I-205 southbound, where it's 12 minutes to Oregon City, 8 minutes on 217 southbound, 18 in from Wilsonville.
Thanks, Carly. 6:33 right now, and happening today, Governor Kate Brown declaring today, March 30th, Cesar Chavez Day in the state of Oregon.
Brett Weisberg joins us live to explain how the governor says Chavez's contributions to America are now more important than ever. Good morning, Brett.
Hey, good morning. We are in Northeast Portland along Cesar Chavez Boulevard, and I can tell you that in just a few hours, Governor Kate Brown down in Salem is going to be holding a public ceremony marking today Cesar Chavez Day in Oregon. This comes at a time when immigration arrests continue to dominate news across our region. In a statement, the governor says, quote, Cesar Chavez and his contributions to the immigrant and farm worker community reminds us all to honor his social justice legacy by fighting to bring opportunity to all Oregonians. Just within the last couple of weeks, we've covered several different cases of young adult men being arrested by the Department of Homeland Security. Most recently, 2 men came to the United States under what's known as DACA, or the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Both of those men have their cases pending. Now, today's event is going to be held down in Salem at the state capitol, and it will begin at noon. Reporting live, I'm Brent Weisberg for KOIN 6 News.
All right, thank you, Brent. Well, all the while, Portland police arrest more protesters after a demonstration in downtown yesterday.
Cor Harlan is live to explain how the latest protest is related to a deadly police shooting late last month. Cor?
Well, Ken and Trevor, the arrest toll is now at 6 arrested, 3 earlier yesterday afternoon, 3 later in the evening. Mainly the 6 arrested outside the Portland building yesterday afternoon, charged with violations including disorderly conduct, 4th-degree assault. There was even a charge, one charge handed out there of reckless burning. Apparently someone had a lit torch or a lit flare outside the Portland building during the protest yesterday afternoon. Now, of course, these protests were all took place yesterday afternoon during the Portland City Council meeting there in reaction to the police shooting death of Quantus Hayes that happened recently. Police also are telling us they took reports of 2 assault and 2 incidents of property damage at the Portland building as well. We're not sure when these people will appear in court, but police say the investigation is ongoing, and based on what they can learn, that more arrests are still possible in this case. Of course, this has been a problem Portland City Council has had trying to keep their meetings open and keep them without being disrupted. But yesterday, Yesterday's events outside the Portland building underline the fact that this is a problem. It is still a problem, and it will still be a problem going forward, as 6 people arrested yesterday with disorderly conduct charges at Portland City Council meeting outside the Portland building downtown. Trevor and Ken.
Yeah, the city definitely stepping up its security, though I doubt we've seen the last of those protesters.
Absolutely. We have a new report out today that's something that Portland city leaders will take a close look at.
The annual study takes a look at pedestrian traffic deaths across the United States, and the Governor's Highway Safety Association reports an 11% spike in pedestrian deaths in 2016 compared to 2015. This is a problem that keeps getting worse. Those numbers are up 22% from 2014, and the report noted that drinking and walking can be dangerous. 34% of deadly pedestrian crashes in 2015 involved pedestrians who were legally drunk. Also in 2015, the city of Portland adopted a Vision Zero action plan, which aims to eliminate all traffic deaths and injuries by 2025.
Only one church bus passenger remains alive this morning after a tragic head-on crash in Texas. 12 passengers and the driver were killed when the bus collided with a pickup truck outside of San Antonio. The truck driver also survived. Federal investigators now trying to figure out what went wrong.
Police say a significant quantity of cocaine was hidden in a plane that landed at Ohio University's private airport yesterday. The pilot told Homeland Security he was traveling from Canada through U.S. airspace when he had to land because of a mechanical problem. He and another person are now under arrest.
Time now is 6:38. You're watching KOIN 6 News, watching out for you.
The countdown to the Final Four is on, and KOIN 6 has a team in Arizona. Coming up, we're going to catch up with our Cole Miller live in Phoenix. That's right on the other side of the break.
And it's been an extremely wet March. Just take a look at some of these rain totals. Almost 15 inches in Astoria, Portland, 7¼ inches. We'll go down in the history books for this month, but I have drier weather in the extended forecast. Stick around for that.
We've got multiple delays now, and we still have that closure in Beaverton. The details on that coming up.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Sally Showman. A few more showers to get through today before a beautiful day tomorrow. Mostly cloudy at 8 o'clock. Can't rule out a spotty shower this morning, but a lot of us are dry. By noontime, showers increasing. They'll be hit and miss this afternoon. 1 minute, there's a sun break and it's dry. The next, a downpour sweeps through. By 5 o'clock, increasing sunshine. Temperatures top out around 57. Tomorrow, beautiful with temperatures in the 60s. Areas of morning fog on Friday.
641, and there's a lot of yellow and green flowing into Phoenix right now and over the next several days.
The Oregon Ducks basketball team and their fans are in Arizona for the Final Four. Our Cole Miller joined the action last night and was still kind enough to get up bright and early to join us this morning. Cole, how was the flight down, and did you notice a lot of Ducks fans joining you on that trip?
Well, Trevor, Ken, good morning. Yeah, it was a pretty good flight, and I tell you what, you mentioned it. Yeah, lots of green, lots of yellow. Lots of Ducks flying south. I can imagine not only to get away from that winter weather, we've been seeing that rain. It's been so yucky, but to come here for such a historic game. You know, the Ducks haven't been in the Final Four since 1939. Now, the flight, though, it was pretty good. I got to admit, I fell asleep about halfway through it. But, yeah, there was an energy. There was an excitement. You can tell, guys, that people are just ready. They are so excited to see the Ducks tip off.
What's on the agenda for the Ducks today, both for the team and for the fans?
Yeah, well, Ken, the big ticket item today is going to be the pep rally for the Ducks. Actually, all four teams are having their pep rallies today at the Phoenix Convention Center. That starts at 6 o'clock, so you can bet you we'll be down there to cover that. It's got to be a good time. I got to tell you, this is my first time covering a Final Four, so I can't necessarily speak to my own personal experience as to just how these things go, but Phoenix seems to know how to do these things right. You know, we're talking Super Bowls, football national championships, Final Fours. This is a city that knows how to treat sports fans right.
Well, you know, Cole, Oregon, the underdog in this matchup. North Carolina has a pretty nationwide following. Have you noticed a discrepancy in the fans that you're seeing there?
That's a good point, Trevor. Yeah, this is a Tar Heel team and a Tar Heel program that is tested. They are veterans of the Final Four. They were in the national championship last game, lost that buzzer beater against Villanova. But, after you land, you get the rental car, you check in at the hotel. I can't say I've seen any of that Tar Heel blue walking around the desert just yet, but it did pique my interest. You know, I had always wondered what exactly is a Tar Heel. So this morning I did a little bit of research. One of the ideas behind the nickname comes from the Revolutionary War. There was a British general who was leading his troops over a river. They were fording a river, and when they got to the other side, they noticed a black tar on their heels, and they say that somebody tried to impede their crossing by tossing tar into that river, and I guess the name has just stuck since then.
You know, that is a great bit of history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was keeping me awake at night, wondering what a Tar Heel was.
What is a Tar Heel?
Yeah, and now we can beat the tar out of them in the game.
Yeah. And you know what, I'm willing to say?
Ken can rest easy.
Right, definitely. And I'm willing to say Tar Heel is a dumb name. Ducks is a better name. They deserve the victory.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree with you. Yeah,
all right,
I got to agree with you there. Hands down. There's no question.
All right, thanks, Cole Miller, reporting live from the Phoenix, Arizona area. Looking forward to Saturday's Final Four. And KOIN 6 is your home for coverage of the Final Four and the entire NCAA tournament. Cole is joined by David Solano and Jeff Gianola in Phoenix. We'll bring you live updates through the weekend here on KOIN and on KOIN.com.
Couldn't help but notice all the sunshine in Cole's live shot there.
Oh, yeah.
Sally, how far away are we from something at least sunny like that?
Well, tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day, so we might be dealing with sun glare on the roads tomorrow. But Carly, this morning it's pretty cloudy out there.
Okay, yeah, which helps with the sun glare because we don't have any. But yeah, sun glare always slows traffic down. And what we're seeing right now is a slowdown due to rush hour, and then a slowdown in Beaverton due to a closure. So let's get to those traffic alerts. We'll start with the TV highway closure. As you know, a lot of people use TV highway in the morning. If this is part of your commute, plan ahead. Give yourself extra time. Use Farmington instead. TV highway has been closed since about 11 o'clock last night. That's because of a crash where a car hit a power pole. PGE has been working on repairing that pole, but it's taking a while. So TV highway is closed from Murray to Hawken. You can see the congestion it's causing now on Farmington, the main alternate route there. Take a look at this. This is a heads up for you. Starting in 15 minutes, Union Mills Road will close. That is just east of Highway 213, south of Malino. That closure is in place from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. today. It's for repair work. I-5 southbound is backed up with 18 minutes from SR 500 to the Fremont Bridge. All the slowing right now pretty much on the Vancouver side to the Interstate Bridge. I-205 southbound has a slowdown, 16 minutes from SR 500 to I-84. Take a look at I-205 southbound, a breeze right now, so no problems before the Abernathy Bridge. It's all clear, 12 minutes only, and 217 southbound is an 8-minute drive. There is some slowing on 26. Expect 8 minutes in from 217. Sally?
You have to admit, Carly, you were a little jealous of that sun glare, though, weren't you?
Yes, a little jealous for sure. I'll take the sun.
I know. I'm craving the sun so much these days, and I know a lot of you are too. I've heard from a lot of you, emails and Facebook messages. The good news is we have sun to look forward to tomorrow, and possibly as early as this evening the sun comes out. So here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast today. Mostly cloudy this morning, just a few stray showers outside. Showers will increase as we head through the day into the afternoon. Fairly hit and miss in nature, and some of them may be heavy. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s today. Right now it's 44 in Portland, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy in Salem, and 43 east of the Cascades, clear in Bend, but really cold, flirting with that freezing mark. Further off to the east, we have had reports of flurries and temperatures down in the 30s. Here's a live look outside downtown Portland. The Willamette River is so high. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but it's at the highest levels we've seen since 2011. 44 degrees in Portland with our sunrise just a couple minutes away. Here's what it looks like at Mount Hood Meadows. Just kidding. Obviously, our camera's not working there. Timberline, 3 inches of new snow in the last 24 hours, 2 inches at Mount Hood Meadows and 1 inch at Ski Bowl and Mount Bachelor. So today, kind of a nice day to go skiing for spring breakers. We could pick up 1 to 3 inches additional snow. Yesterday, it was wet up on the slopes. Today, we'll see a little bit of fresh snow as those snow levels have dropped. Radar not finding a lot, just a few spotty showers, mainly east of I-5 around the metro area. But our pattern remains unsettled. You can see some showers rolling on shore there, and that's kind of what we'll see the rest of the day. The good news is high pressure is just offshore, and that moves onshore, bringing us dry weather for Friday and a lot of the weekend. So here's the timeline. 1 o'clock this afternoon, you see what I mean. Hit and miss shower activity. East of the Cascades, some scattered snow showers possible. And then later on this evening, that's 6 o'clock. I think a lot of sunshine here in the valley by then, with showers continuing in the mountains. Overnight, skies clear and some fog develops early tomorrow. So your morning commute, you may encounter reduced visibility, something to think about when you're headed out the front door Friday morning. But outside of that fog, we'll enjoy a lot of sunshine. High clouds start to increase along the coast in the afternoon, and then they move inland overnight. Now, a really weak disturbance moves in early Saturday, potentially bringing a few light showers or sprinkles. But in the afternoon, the skies will start to clear out again, and Sunday looks like a mainly dry day. So our extended forecast looking great as far as drier weather. Showers and sun breaks at the coast, dry by this evening. It'll also be breezy at times if you're walking on the beaches. I-5 corridor passing showers, increasing sun later on tonight. Sunset should be pretty nice, mostly cloudy east of the mountains and breezy with isolated showers around and high temperatures in the 40s. Wet at times through the gorge. If you live in Hood River or the Dalles, definitely noticing that wind gusting up to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Again, 1 to 3 inches of snow possible above 3,000 feet in the mountains. Tomorrow, beautiful. Saturday, pretty nice, but you know, early on, if you go on a jog with the dog in the morning, you may encounter some wet weather, just brief light showers. And then we're dry in the afternoon and mainly dry Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as well, with temperatures in the low 60s. So here's a look at your Pet Walk forecast. An isolated shower, not out of the question this morning. I think best chance for running into a shower will be an afternoon walk, especially early afternoon. Mainly dry pause by this evening. Okay, some more great pictures to share with you. This is Molly. It was Molly's 9th birthday yesterday, and Molly's mom is a much better person than I am. She made her a homemade oatmeal banana cupcake with peanut butter frosting. That's a spoiled pup. Here's Chili. Do you see Chili behind the little bush there? Chili is an adorable looking dog and so curious. This is, who is this? I can't even read my own handwriting. That's so embarrassing. I wrote it like Bammy, but I know that's not your name, so I will show that later. Really cute dog though. And finally, this is Sam and Tucker cuddling up together, body warmth. Send me your pictures, coin.com/petwalk. That's coin.com/petwalk. I'd love to see your duck themed pictures too. Coin.com/petwalk. Don't forget your name and your animal's name as well. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie. There are only 2 days left now to enter the Coin 6 Cirque du Soleil contest.
We're giving away tickets to the show Curious Cabinet of Curiosities. It's coming to Portland in August. And if you want to enter, go to coin.com/contest. And that's where you enter the word of the day. Today's word of the day is clown, C-L-O-W-N. You can find the complete rules if you want to participate on coin.com. Running out of time, so you got to make sure that you do that today. Well, here's a story you got to hear. Mexican scientists are revealing a breakthrough that could change both alcohol and weather.
They created a cloud that rains tequila. The only place you can find it is in Berlin, in an installation inside of a museum. Now, the tequila cloud is actually part of a tourism campaign aimed at getting German travelers to visit sunny Mexico. A promotional video explains how scientists made that tequila cloud happen.
We used ultrasonic humidifiers to vibrate tequila at a frequency that turned it into visible mist. The tequila mist then condensed into liquid form and dripped as raindrops, making a real cloud rain tequila every time it rained in Germany.
Makes you look forward to cloudy days. Well, the cloud is even synced with weather patterns in Berlin, and it rains tequila when it's raining outside. We'll be right back.
Mexico's tequila cloud.
Welcome back. A few showers, especially midday, and then we'll see increasing sun as we approach sunset tonight. High temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow, definitely the nicest day of the week. Saturday, a few morning sprinkles followed by dry weather in the afternoon. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday also look mainly dry.
Remember, TV Highway remains closed between Murray and Hawkins, so expect delays there. And on Farmington, that's the main alternate route. Here are your drive times: 60 minutes on I-5 southbound, 10 on I-84, 8 on 26.
We had that bridge lift on the interstate bridge earlier. Is that are the remnants of that still hanging around?
There's still some slowing back to SR 500, but it's not as bad as what we typically see, so that's good.
Okay.
Spring break helps.
Probably because of spring break, yeah.
All right. Well, don't go anywhere because CBS This Morning is coming up in just a few minutes. They have some new research that actually shows a lower speed limit could actually improve rush hour traffic.
That's coming up next on CBS This Morning, and we will see you back here at noon. Have a great morning.